Aaron Rodgers when he was at Green Bay, but I think Dak Prescott is still a talented quarterback. He can get the job done. I like how they added Brandon Cooks. Whenever Tony Pollard get back healthy, I think this offense could be very, very explosive. I just hope. I know when he's at Green Bay, he's a very pass-heavy play caller, and I think Dallas is always at their best when they're a little bit more balanced. So hopefully he kind of tones down the passing a little bit, even though I think they can be very good in the passing game. I think when they're at their best as offense, when they get the running game going, get play action going, and then they get Dak Prescott going. Because last year, obviously, he was very turnover heavy, and I think if they're able to establish their running game and commit to the running game, I think that'll lessen some of his turnovers.
NFL high 15 interceptions 1 year ago for Dak Prescott, despite the fact that he missed, 5 games last year. So, yeah, that's a concern. I do think it's hard to say because I thought they were very good with Kellen Moore. I thought they had some imagination. I thought even when they had Cooper Rush come in, the way that Kellen Moore adjusted the offense and tailored it, but still yet they were playing good. Now, the point production wasn't explosive. They weren't scoring 30 points a game. And their defense, let's face it, has led the league in takeaways each of the last 2 years. And that's aided, right, their ability to score points and win games.
Nobody was scoring 30 points a game.
So there's some hidden gems in there in terms of some of the data points. But Mike McCarthy is convinced Jerry Jones that the team is better off with him calling the offensive plays. So you know what? They better be better off with him calling plays. It's as simple as that. And I think you hit it. Yeah, or else, right? And I think you hit it. Not only does Dak Prescott has to play better by protecting the ball, because if he protects the ball and they're not throwing 15 interceptions this year, you're going to see offensive production tick up. But I think they got to be more explosive. And I think even Mike McCarthy knows that because that's why he went out and signed Brandon Cooks. If anyone can hit the home run over the course of his career, no matter who he's playing with, it's Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, don't sleep on Brandon Cooks. He's a very, very underrated receiver in this game. He's had a lot of 1,000-yard receiving seasons in this league and take a slant to the house, a hitch to the house, and obviously he can take the top off the defense. And I think Dallas was really missing that last year. I know CD Lamb's a really good player. Michael Gallup, struggled to get going a little bit last year, but I know they signed T.Y. Hilton during the season, but he was only there for a few weeks. But Brandon Cooks brings a different element. He's going to stretch the defenses, allow Dak Prescott to, attack the middle of the field with CD Lamb, and definitely allow for CD Lamb to get more one-on-one opportunities as well, because that safety's going to definitely have to be, he's going to have to stay back with Brandon Cooks on the outside.
Brandon Cooks is a guy that you're right. I think he's turned in multiple, right, 1,000-yard seasons. I think 6 of his 8 years since he's been, or 9 years in the league, he's had over 1,000 yards. And we're talking with multiple teams, with the New Orleans Saints, with your former New England Patriots. You were a teammate of his in 2017 with the LA Rams. And he's done it twice in Houston. I know he had some games he was injured last year. But you go back to 2020 and 2021. I can't tell you who was throwing them the ball, James. It's only a number of different quarterbacks. But this guy got it done. And, 2 years of over 1,000 yards receiving, no matter who's throwing him the football, no matter how well or how poorly the team is doing. Brandon Cooks has shown you that he can produce and that he can produce big plays. And that's what the Dallas Cowboys are banking on. Are we concerned about tight end position, say, with the Cowboys, the lack thereof?
Jake Ferguson.
I don't think so. I like Jake Ferguson. He's out of Wisconsin, so I got to watch him a lot playing there. The grandson of Barry Alvarez, he's a guy who can win in one-on-one situations. He's tough, and if you play tight end at Wisconsin, you're able to run block as well. So I think they'll be just fine when it comes to that. I think they drafted 2 guys last year who they expect to fill in and step in and take over that role from Dalton Schultz. So I think I'm not too heavily concerned when it comes to the tight end.
I like you at the hometown detail breakdown of Jake Ferguson and Coach Barry Alvarez, who helped build, I think, a juggernaut at the University of Wisconsin. I told him as much as I was at a conference in Las Vegas with with some companies that we're working with, and he and I were together, and we had a really good, wonderful conversation. It was great meeting the coach. Peyton Hendershot is the other tight end that they drafted. He was actually an undrafted free agent out of college last year, but was a rookie last season. Luke Schoonmaker from the University of Michigan, another Big Ten tight end. They used the second round pick on him. Didn't take the tight end in the first round. Dallas Cowboys, they took Mozzie Smith from the University of Michigan, and then go get the tight end, Luke Schoonmaker from Michigan, in the second round. So they like the Big Ten guys, don't they?
Yeah, the Big Ten produces a lot of good tight ends. So big guys, they're tough, they're physical. I said, catch the ball across the middle, win one-on-one situations, and you know they're going to be well coached. At the tight end position, I think you got to be physical. I think obviously there's some guys who are more of a receiver than a pass blocker, but to me, the best tight ends are the ones who do both, because that allows for the offense to be a lot more dynamic.
I totally agree. And when we talk about tight ends blocking or setting the edge in the run game, I know as a runner you can appreciate it.
Yeah.
I know, and it does allow the offense to be that much more dynamic, that much more versatile. Look, you can find, I mean, it's hard pressed, because I think he was a great receiving tight end, Rob Gronkowski. But you can maybe find some faster tight ends than Gronk. Maybe better pure receiving tight ends than Gronk, but you're not going to find a better combination of blocker, receiver, red zone, power forward, go up for the rebound, pass catching tight end than Rob Gronkowski. I remember him coming down on a wham block. As you well know, that's where you let that nose tackle or trap block, right? Where you let that nose tackle or that technique come screaming up the field. You literally leave him on block as the tight end is coming down like he's in motion. But all he's going to do is ear hole that defensive tackle coming through the gap. I've watched him do that so many times that the running back just go walking into the end zone untouched. Now, you don't see that on the highlight reel, do you, Jay?
It's brutal. You definitely don't see that. I mean, there's only a few guys in the league I feel like you can even compare to what he was. I think George Kittle does a pretty good job of being able to hold his own in the running game as well. But Gronk, so you can leave him one-on-one with a defensive end and run the ball to the tight end side, and you have full confidence running behind him. It's really hard to find that, in the NFL today, a guy who can be as dominant in the passing game and be able to handle a DN one-on-one and run blocking, which is extremely tough, and the wham block, that's a different level right there. Not everybody's committed to actually going out there and you're holding that defensive tackle. Even though you're blindsiding them, it still takes a lot of physicality and a lot of emphasis to get that block done, because if you don't, obviously it's going to be a tackle for a loss or a fumble from the quarterback running back exchange. Brutal. You're literally leaving the guy on block and you got to ear hold him. So those tight ends, they make a huge difference when they can be physical and dominant in the running game.
There are some tight ends you wouldn't even try to run that play.
No.
It's like, no, we could get somebody killed, right? You're literally allowing the guy at the point blank range of the interior part of the defensive line, leaving him unblocked, giving him free access and penetration. That's the way the play is designed to work. And then you're trusting that he's not going to see that tight end coming from that ear hole, that blind side block angle. And the tight end can't blink. He's got to take him out. But some guys blink. Yeah. That's Aaron Donald coming through there. Ooh, if that's a Dominican Sue coming through there, some guys blink, right?
Close your eyes. You might not blink. You might just close your eyes.
You blink, it's over. I can just tell you that. Bro, hey, Rob Gronkowski, how about this? He had defensive tackles blinking. He had them say, whoa, is that the one? They left me on black as, I'm about to get whammed by, Gronk got me. By the time you realize it's too late, right? It's
man.
Plain simple as that. I've seen him do that so many times. That's why he's going to be a sure shot first ballot Hall of Famer. Well deserving for all the things that he's done for the teams that he's played with, and he embraced every part of the game, and you love that about him. And he made the game fun too, didn't he, James? Didn't he?
See, I'm telling y'all, the Cowboys forever have disregarded that one technique guy. It's not like any other position. And I'm telling you, I played that position. It's brutal. And just thinking about that wham block, there's nothing worse than you're running upfield and all of a sudden, out of your blind side, they hit you in the ear hole. I don't even know how it's still legal because, you think about the quarterback. If you swatted his helmet, touch him, of course, there's a 15-yard penalty. Defensive tackle, yeah, just launch him through his ear hole. And if you literally want to see blue dots, the wham block will definitely do that to you. But you get hit from so many different angles. You get hit from the guard. You get the combo high-low block where the center's engaging you and getting you up, and then that guy's coming and hitting you in the hip. Your body is battered and bruised and destroyed by the next day. You're lucky if your ass can get up out of bed. Yeah. But to their point about Kellen Moore and, of course, Dak Prescott and his interceptions, some of them are on Dak, some of them are on the receivers. We've all seen where Michael Gallup literally stops and gives up on a route and just leaves a wide open bead for the cornerback. We've seen Noah Brown literally tipping the ball up. And it's not like Dak Prescott has like 25 more interceptions than everybody else. Dak was tied with David Mills with 15. But you can look at everybody else all around 10. So we're talking about 5 more interceptions for Dak. But here's the thing that's funny because you said, well, they're not a 30-point-a-game team. In the last 2 years, the Dallas Cowboys are the highest scoring team with Dak Prescott at quarterback. I'm just kind of saying. Kellen Moore did not do a bad job. But see, there are times when it's a pressure cooker that we've seen the Dallas Cowboys with Jason Garrett. Great regular season team. But for some reason, come playoff time, it just doesn't work. There are some guys that are great regular season coaches, but then I've seen it where we've had things that work out well. It seems like Kellen Moore forgets about those things that work well. We know that Dak Prescott is great outside the pocket. We know that the Cowboys are better using 12 personnel. We get into playoffs, those kind of things, hurry-up offense, they forget about. And then you kind of start scratching your head with some of the damn trick plays that are bullcrap. We'll sit here and we'll be killing people straight up just playing regular football, and then we'll throw in a trick play that'll end up losing us 10, 15 yards. And that's what you get with Kellen Moore. I just love the revisionist history that we get when it comes to Kellen Moore, and of course with Dak Prescott, that Dak is literally the worst quarterback in the NFL. Shout out to Jackie Gnomes, who she ended up sending me a message that literally said that Greg Jennings says that Daniel Jones and Jalen Hurts are the best 2 quarterbacks in the NFC East. Daniel Jones? Yeah. But then again, we all know when it comes to the NFL without the Dallas Cowboys would be nothing. It just wouldn't. Nothing to talk about but the Dallas Cowboys. I'm Mark Holmes, and we just rolling on along here to the Red Brick House. I'll see you. Peace.